Henrietta von Marzipan, most often known to the audience as Heinrich von Marzipan, is a minor antagonist in the show Codename Kids Next Door and primarily a foil to Numbuh 5. Henrietta is often seen on candy hunting journeys and has a storyline where she takes away people's most prized qualities in the form of caramels. After the reveal that Heinrich is really Henrietta, most transcriptions say that her most prized quality was her beauty. However, if that were the case, she would simply be an ugly girl for most of her appearances. A minor background character even says, "I'm not ugly anymore."
I am not ugly anymore!
Since the wiki now refers to her as she, it's not a stretch to interpret Henrietta von Marzipan as a trans woman. Just to clear a few things up before I continue, just some terms from GLAAD from Psychology Today to explain a little bit about what I mean. Now, sex and gender are different. Sex are biological characteristics assigned at birth. You know, genitalia, chromosomes, hormones, etc. Secondary sex characteristics. Gender is cultural. Those are social roles that we assign based on those. Like the stereotype that boys wear blue, girls wear pink. That's something cultural. A cis person like me has a gender identity that matches what was assigned at birth. So I'm a woman, I was born female. A trans person has a gender identity that does not match what was assigned at birth. A trans woman was assigned male at birth, so male to female. A trans man assigned female at birth is female to male. This is just the bare bones basics, but this is just to get a basic understanding of what I mean from this analysis video. So, within the Kids Next Door narrative, because I'm overanalyzing, Henrietta von Marzipan could plausibly be interpreted as a trans woman. This is a minor character, so while there isn't a whole ton to work with, the big reveal does bring up these possibilities, because Henrietta sacrificed her most prized quality, her femininity, which left her male, possibly because she was born that way. The Wikipedia page on the character refers to her exclusively as female, and under the gender section it says, female, formerly male. What can you conclude from that? Now, with this in mind, it seems like there's some unfortunate implications with this character, especially because she's a villain. However, that alone does not make it unfortunate, because her identity is not the reason she's a villain. Henrietta returning to her true self is part of a redemption arc, and when she's portrayed as a villain, it's because she's not sharing her candy and she's blaming others for her own shortcomings. However, this isn't free of unfortunate implications, because in Henrietta's last appearance, this is the ending.
Be good, honey!
So now we gotta go find where Heinrich is, huh?
Number 4.
Hey, what?
Yikes. Like I said, I don't really think this twist was planned from the start, and I have met the team and the creator a couple times, and from my knowledge, I don't think they would have intentionally put something that mean-spirited in if the implication were better understood. It's been confirmed on TV Tropes and Warburton Lab's blog that early concept ideas were thrown out for that exact reason, namely Numbuh 3 speaking entirely in Japanese and Numbuh 5 being the silent teammate, which would have resulted in the 2 girls and the 2 non-white characters essentially not having an active speaking role. Now, visibility of all types of groups have dramatically increased since 2007 when this first aired, so I'm sure that something this mean-spirited would not have happened, at least not without significant backlash had it been gone through today. That doesn't exactly excuse this scene, but perhaps can clarify things and put it in more of a context. Now that attitudes are changing, we can use scenes like this as an example of what not to do, and hopefully tell better, more inclusive stories. Future releases could just cut that last few seconds, lose nothing in terms of plot, and have a much sweeter episode. Pun intended. Sharing your candy seems like a basic lesson for a kid's show, but with this setup you can interpret a deeper message from it. Since sharing the caramels is what breaks the curse, and these specific caramels contain a person's most prized quality, you get a message that says, share parts of yourself with others and the right person will accept that. And therefore Henrietta can be interpreted as a trans woman who had to learn to share that part of herself with someone who already accepted her. On that more positive note, her relationship with Numbuh 5 is what mattered the most. The entire span of their story, Numbuh 5 never gives up on her and pursues Henrietta when she's in trouble, but ultimately backs off when it gets to be too much and knows she can't fully save her. She knows that Henriette has to make that choice for herself.
I just thought I'd bring you a little something. Give me a call when you're less bitter and a little more sweet.
Though, of course, gender identity is different from who you're attracted to. Looking at the text alone, you can honestly interpret different things from their relationship as well.
Guten Tag, mein Abigail.
Oh, hello, Heine.
You don't fool me, Abby Liebchen, honey.
Ow!
It is you I want.
You've become a monster!
Ooh, you noticed.
You're more important to me than candy. This is Henrietta Von Marzipan. She's an old friend of mine.
And I will leave that up to the viewer and or shipper. If you forgot about all this, that's because you got decommissioned.